What is going on, everyone? This is Andrew O'Connell with Pristine Capital. I am also the Director of Research at Leduc Trading, coming at you with yet another market recap video. It is December 11th, 2020. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel if you enjoy this content, and I will continue to make it for you. I've been adjusting the sound level for the music. I think it is appropriate tonight, but we'll have to wait and see. Happy Friday. Quick risk disclaimer before we jump in. We're going to be talking about the S&P 500, all the headline indices. We're going to go under the hood and check out the sectors and style factors. We're going to look at some trades that I took today and trades that I was managing. And we're going to wrap up some options order flow. But before we dive in, quick risk disclaimer, nothing in this video should be construed as investment advice or recommendations. Please follow your own trading plan, your own risk parameters. And last but not least, do not YOLO your entire account into any one of my trades. So with that being said, let's dive right in. So we're going to start off for the box scores. We have the S&P 500 today down 0.12%. We have the Qs, which are technology, down 0.22%. We have the small caps, IWM, down 0.49%. And we have the Dow Jones up 0.13% on the day. Let's go to our ES futures. And things are starting to turn a little bit in the markets. You can see I marked off, these pretty crude, downward trend lines. Today was a bit of a scare where it looked like we were going to fall into the abyss. We can zoom in a little bit here. It ended up being a big hammer candle. You can see we actually dipped below that 20-day simple moving, and we were well within the monthly value area. So if you watch my videos frequently, you know that the trend changes once you go from above the monthly value area to within it or below it, or vice versa. So anytime we are diving into this value area, that sends a red flag to me. Anytime we are below the 5-day EMA, we're below the 20-day SMA, that to me is a red flag. That is a no-no. So let's dive in. We'll go to the hourly chart here so we can see a little bit more in depth what happened today. We are in sort of like a market, at least in the very short term. But you can see based off these trend lines, pretty crude that I drew, it looks like we jumped right out of it pretty quickly. But you can see this is the weekly time frame right here. You can see below the weekly value area, we dipped below, and now we jumped right back in. So this could have just been, a bit of a dip, a little bit of a washout to clean out some of the excess, to get more people to put hedges on. And, we're just going to jump right back in and go straight back to bullish. But there's definitely some red flags here, and I'm sort of proceeding with caution. I'm still playing things to the upside, but I did add a hedge in the Qs, just to be certain that, after options expiration week, who knows, maybe the market takes a spill. I just wanted to put a little hedge on, given things are looking a little bit more ambiguous right now. Let's take a look at we're going to go back to the daily time frame. We'll take a look at the Qs. Again, closed well off their lows today, which is a good thing. Also formed a bit of a hammer candle and bounced right off of that 20-day simple moving average. So this looks like a textbook dip in a bullish trend at the moment. You can see the Qs are still above the monthly value area and above the 20-day simple moving average, but below the 5-day. IWM small caps down 0.49%. You can see these still are in a very bullish trend. The small caps closed up above the 5-day exponential moving average. So this one, the bullish trend is still intact. And then the Dow Jones, surprise, surprise, was the big winner today, up 0.13%. But you can see this one still looks like trash, basically, where You know, we're just trending sideways. This one is not doing anything. It's not showing any relative strength. And, you know, most likely the reason why it closed up today was because nobody's long the Dow. But yeah, pretty much nothing burger over here. Pretty much just moving sideways. So let's dive into the sectors and style factors and see what was going on under the hood of the markets today. So all these sectors are ranked in terms of momentum. And you can see everything that has the most momentum sold off the most. So all of these ARC Innovation, ARC Genomics, Next Gen Internet, all took sizable hits. You can see ARC Genomics down 1.64%, ARC Innovation down 1.06%, and Next Generation Internet held that okay, down 0.2%. In terms of the laggards, we have real estate, which actually had a positive day, plus 0.05%. Gold miners, which just cannot catch a bid, down 0.48%. And utilities, which have been weak, bouncing 0.02%, basically flat on the day. And, a couple of other sectors that were noteworthy. Solar energy, which is one of the trends, that I love playing for the long term, actually bounced plus 2.18%. So let's take a look at that one. So if you take a look, did not close on the highs for solar energy, but this is starting to look like, we've touched the monthly value area high several times and we're bouncing off of it. So this is looking pretty encouraging for these solar stocks. And, we'll just have to wait and see next week. I did not add a position in there, although I do have a position in plug on. So let's take another look at another one that was pretty interesting. European financials catching some heat today. And European financials have been in a nasty, sideways trend, showing relative weakness for quite some time, have not even recovered to their pre-COVID lows. But since the COVID-19 vaccine came out, they've been on an absolute tear. And now they're starting to give some back. So you can see they are well within the monthly value area. They tag the monthly point of control. They're having a little bit of a bounce. But this one, to be honest, I will be looking at as a potential short opportunity at some point. So I'm just keeping that one on the radar. Now let's take a look at our style factors. And you can see, this isn't the most risk-on day. Like, although we closed well off the lows of the day, you can see the style factor that took the biggest hit was high beta and cyclicals. So that is not, super risk on. You can see the style factors that perform the best were defensives, quality, and min vol. So you can see under the surface is showing a slightly different picture than above the hood. And now let's jump into some of the stocks I'm watching and some of the stocks that I'm trading as well. We have a few that I talked about in yesterday's video. We have CCJ and GoodRx. CCJ I posted on Twitter last night. I gave a shout out. I tagged Christian Fromhertz, who, is an awesome trader. He is the fastest gunslinger out there. I am convinced. But I shouted him out, basically saying like this might be one that you're interested in. So CCJ, if you take a look, my friend Rick actually gave me the idea for CCJ. So shout out to him. This is totally his trade idea. It just worked within my system of technical trading. So it ended up working out for a nice little swing. Yeah, for my video yesterday, we put on CCJ. I bought the January 2022. I bought some 10 strike calls and some 12 strike calls. And you can see here we had a nice follow through day. And you can see, look at the volume that this is coming on. So people are coming for these uranium stocks. You can see we have a nice little level up here at around 1407. This level at 1407, it's a VPOC, which is a virgin point of control. It's a very high volume node that once it was created was never revisited. So what this tells me is there's probably a lot of bag holders that might be willing to offload their bags as soon as they break even. So I want to see what the interaction looks like when we get to 1407. And who knows, I might take a target there, but we'll have to see. But good first day for these CCJ calls. GoodRx is another one where surprisingly had a great first day. GoodRx, we talked about this one in the video yesterday. One of my favorite analysts did a presentation on it today, and he really got the stock going. So you can take a look. This one was up 9.58% on the day. My initial, target one was about $45.03, this monthly value area high. And you can see, we're fast approaching that level just in a single day. And you can see it's coming on above average volume. GoodRx, it IPO'd pretty recently. So you can see in late September, that was when it first started trading. And it was trading within this $65 to $46 range for several months. Then when that Amazon headline about getting into prescription drugs came out, it just completely washed out. I could definitely see this stock getting back into, that prior range. So this one, I bought the April calls, so I have plenty of time on this one to ride it out if it enters, a positive trend. But good to see, having a good first day. Then let's see, Plug. This is one I have a call butterfly in. Also discussed this one in a prior video when I put it on. Plug, my call butterfly is targeting the 27.5 level. So in a perfect world, my butterfly expires next Friday, December 18th. In a perfect world, Plug would close at 27.5 next Friday. But I took a target in this position. I took about half off for about a 50% profit. Really just because with these butterflies, you can have a good position that looks awesome. And it can look awesome for a while. But, you could have it where the day before expiration, the stock moves a lot. And suddenly it's out of your target range. So for that reason, a lot of times I like to take a target in the butterfly and then let the rest ride. So that's what I did today. I took a target, and then I also added some Plug calls for March. And the reason why is just because Plug is in such a beautiful trend right now. You can take a look at this one, and essentially what we're doing is consolidating at the monthly value area high. So if this thing consolidates even for the next week and my butterfly hits, I want to be in this one to play for the upside. So this one, and yeah, like if you take a look at this dip right here in the chart. Look at how much volume came in to buy this stock on that dip. Same thing here. Look at this big green candle. Look at how much volume came in to buy the stock on that day. So this one, my natural inclination is, while I'm playing it for a sideways movement for next week, I think most likely it's heading higher. So I put on those March calls as well. And I believe I bought like the 27 strike or 25 strike. I bought in the money calls, pretty conservative. Yeah, and all these alerts are being sent out to Leduc Trading clients. And I'm putting these all on in my own portfolio as well. I used to post, almost every single live entry and exit on Twitter. But just out of respect for Leduc Trading clients, like I'm not going to send them the alert and also put it out on Twitter. But I talk about these things after the fact, just in my recap video now. So let's see, we had Plug. API was another one, and Baidu. Oh my gosh. Yeah, today was just, a pretty solid day. API, this was one also discussed in a prior video. Put on this candle right here. Had a really strong breakout candle above the monthly value area high. This one had, a pretty nice 2-day consolidation period, and we had a very nice move to the upside. I took a target in my position here, took some size out of it now that we hit this R1 pivot. We have another target here up at 49.75. So yeah, this one up 10.48% today, had a nice showing, and glad to let the rest of the position ride. And this is coming on pretty high volume too. So definitely like API here. And then Baidu. Baidu continues to run. This is another one I've been hammering on my videos since I put the position on. Baidu, more continuation, hit my target level of 162. I had some January 150 strike calls on in Baidu, and I took them off for about a 58% profit. And what I did was I want to stick with Baidu. I wouldn't be surprised if it consolidates sideways for quite some time. Because, with these stocks, they don't just move up in a straight line. I actually prefer if after a nice move, they do consolidate for a while. Because I'm in no rush, to try to make a quick buck or anything like that. I don't mind sitting in a position. So what I did was I closed out my January calls, and then I bought February calls at a higher strike. So I ended up purchasing, I believe I purchased either the 160 or 165 strike, and I purchased those for February. So I basically took the profits off the table and then rolled out to a new position. Let's see. That about does it. And then the only other trade I put on a hedge in the Qs, just because I do have a lot of long positions on at the moment, and the market is looking a bit precarious. For reasons that we discussed earlier with the S&P 500 and such. I ended up putting my puts on, pretty close to the lows of the day. Once I saw we were tagging that 20-day simple moving average, I put on some February calls in the Qs. I bought them, same thing, pretty much at the money. And we'll see. The Qs had a nice reversal, and I'm probably just going to keep that hedge on for a while just in case, things do end up turning after OPEX. But right now, the Qs still look okay. They closed pretty strong. And then another stock I'm just watching, and I've been stalking this one for a long entry, is Spotify. So you can see Spotify had a really nice move out of consolidation, just trended sideways for only 2 days. And buyers pushed it up even higher. Now it is trending sideways yet again. And this thing just looks like it has so much strength. So I have an alert set. I likely will enter a position in Spotify if, it starts to move even higher. So that about does it for the trades, things that I'm watching. Let's last but not least take a look at some of the order flow, and then I will let you guys go and have a great weekend. Let's see, I'm just pulling up my cheddar flow over here. Oh my gosh, I'm so pumped. I have a nice dinner waiting for me tonight. Let's see, cheddar flow. And then hanging out for the weekend, although I'm just going to be nerding out on research anyway, so it's not like much is going to be different. Let's see. But I just love doing this stuff. I love doing the research. I love trading. I love risk managing. So yeah, it's just a good lifestyle for me. Okay, here we go. All right. So we had 54% call flow and 46% put flow today. At one point in the day, this was like 96% call flow and like 4% put flow. But I'm assuming the volatility, kind of whipped people into shape. Let's filter for the $1 million and above positions. And what I thought was super interesting today was look at all these calls for EEM. EEM is emerging markets. It's an emerging markets ETF. January calls going up, 2.4 million, 1.4 million, 1.2 million. And then you can see as well, we have EEM. Then we have FXI, which is a Chinese ETF. And then we have a bunch of EFA, which is ex-US calls. So for me, these are all above $1 million. I rarely ever see these. So I'm like, why is everyone, even EWZ, I believe that's Brazil. I'm like, why is everyone betting for upside outside the US? That to me is super, unusual. And I'll definitely be watching, international stocks just to see, like, what do these people know that I don't? I don't know. So I'll have to see. Let's take a look at some of these. Yeah, so EM, just consolidating sideways. This one is in a very nice trend, but it was red for the day. So, no reason to be like chasing momentum in it. So I am wondering why those calls were purchased. FXI, the Chinese A-shares ETF. Yeah, this one looks like it's rolling over, but people are buying calls in it. So that is pretty strange. This one is tapping the lower Bollinger Band though. So maybe they're thinking it's oversold compared to US equities. And then we have, some EWZ came down for Brazil. Wow, Brazil's actually, on fire right now. So, that's interesting. Let's see. Then what else do we got? We got somebody playing Salesforce. We have, somebody hedging their Qs just like I did. Qualcomm, a put buyer coming in. Zoom, DBX, Dropbox. Let's take a look at this one. SLM. I don't even know what this stock is. For March of 2021, what the heck is SLM? SLM Corporation. Wow. Nice look on this one. Only $12 and it's moving up on high volume? What does this company do? SLM Corporation, through its subsidiaries, originates and services private education loans to students and their families to finance the cost of their education in the U.S. It also offers retail deposit accounts, including CDs, money market deposit accounts, and high-yield savings accounts, omnibus accounts, and a consumer savings network that provides financial rewards on everyday purchases to help families save for college. That sounds pretty cool. The company was formerly known as New BLC Corporation and changed its name to SLM Corporation in December 2013. That is interesting. Let's take a look at their revenues. Just because I feel like going deep right now. Probably shouldn't. Probably should just let you guys go. But yeah, these guys. Their net income took a huge jump from the June quarter to September. This is interesting. I might dig deeper on this one on the weekend. But yeah, let's take one last thing just because I'm super interested in this SLM now. Oh, there goes my weekend. Now I'm just going to be looking at SLM. No, I'm kidding. But let's see. I'm zooming out to the weekly chart just to see what the history looks like on this company. Weekly is super bullish. This thing is just on a tear. And you can see it's hitting, what looks like its prior highs at around $12.22. This looks very interesting. Oh, wow. And it looks like it was up at 18 back here. 21. So, yeah, there's bag holders in here. They've been around since 2000. Very interesting. One I'll take a deeper look into. But that about does it for the unusual options activity. I'm going to be posting my Cheddar Flow link in the description to this video. It gives you a free 7-day trial if you're interested in using that software. But again, I always go through it with you guys for free in the evenings, and I try to post it at least once a day via Twitter. That wraps up this market recap. Hope you all have a great night and a great weekend. I'll see you all next week.